Hi, welcome to another edition of Cover to Cover, our guide to the Sikh and Punjabi books that you need to read. Before we take a look at this week's book, The Sisters of the Spinning Wheel by Professor Puran Singh, let's hear from another one of our viewers telling you about one of their favourite books.
The book I want to recommend for you today is called Parable of the Sower by an author named Octavia E. Butler. It's a sci-fi set in the future. It touches on and explores a crazy, chaotic world that's destroying itself. A world where so many problems are at the forefront and people are caving into those pressures and that chaos, and some are trying to emerge out of it and find hope and peace and survival. The reason why I loved it is it was a page turner, an absolute page turner. I couldn't stop putting it down. I kept wanting to know what would happen next, particularly following the life of the lead character, whose name is Lauren. And she's an amazing individual. Her role in and of itself in the book challenges what you would normally expect of a lead character in a book. Her role challenges what you would normally expect from gender roles, from power imbalances. She challenges the structure and the society of the day and questions religion and spirituality in a unique and creative way through poetry, which also appeals to me. So why I think you should check it out, it touches on many points that are relevant to today in our society, but puts them in a future setting at an extreme level, and gets us to think about those things in a way that's easy to read, in a way that is entertaining and enjoyable as well. So check it out, A Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. I highly recommend it.
The Sisters of the Spinning Wheel and Other Sikh Poems, original and translated, is a work of poetry by Professor Puran Singh. This particular edition is in the traditional Punjabi style of binding and was published by the Punjabi University of Patiala in 1994. It is an authentic rendition of the first edition of this book, which was published by J.M. Dent and Sons in New York in 1921. The author, Professor Puran Singh, is the renowned Sikh scholar, poet, playwright, all-round amazing individual, very well read and literate in English in a manner that is almost unthinkable sometimes today, yet he was writing almost 100 years ago. This particular edition has an opening by Sant Singh Sekhon himself, a very worthy scholar and poet, who writes an editorial foreword, just giving an introduction into what this poetic work is about, and Professor Puran Singh himself. The works of poetry in the book are split into 4 principal sections. The first one is Poems from the Land of the Five Rivers. These are different works of poetry that talk about the Punjab, some of its myths and legends, and some of the ways of the Punjabi people. The second section is Poems of a Sikh, which talks more and more about the individual's exploration into Sikhi, Professor Puran Singh speaking from a very personal perspective. The third section is one titled Poems on Simran, and this is more of a conversation between the poet and the Almighty, talking through all forms of nature and stories that relate to everyday living. The final section is Readings from Guru Granth, where the poet doesn't try to translate works from the Guru Granth Sahib, but tries to interpret them and represent them in English to give across his take on that particular Shabad. He's not trying to rewrite it or try to make it better in any way or guise. What he's doing is presenting how that particular Shabad makes him feel, which all becomes an important tool in any individual Sikh's life when they're trying to understand the Shabads of the Guru Granth Sahib. At about 125 pages, The Sisters of the Spinning Wheel and Other Sikh Poems, original and translated by Professor Puran Singh, is a work that should be read by any person who has an interest in learning more about themselves, learning more about the Punjab, and most importantly, anyone who is on a journey as a Sikh. Professor Puran Singh was a truly enlightened being, and his poetry in English, for those who speak English as a first language, can be a great way into trying to decipher the Guru Granth Sahib more yourself, which is the task of any particular Sikh from their Guru. But we want to know what you think, so please leave a comment below and tell us what you think of The Sisters of the Spinning Wheel by Professor Puran Singh. Join us again for another edition of Cover to Cover, our guide to the Sikh and Punjabi books that you need to read.